Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is my live stream following the victory over the Detroit Pistons last night for the New York Knicks. They are now 1-0 so far on the preseason, and I want to go live and give you guys my thoughts of the game. I already uploaded my reaction on the channel, so if you guys had not checked it out, make sure you do so. And I went live before the game yesterday, and you guys were blowing up that live stream. I had over 7,000 people, over 300 likes. I had people all across the globe tuning in. So I thought, why not go live today following the New York Knicks victory over the Detroit Pistons? There's a lot that we can get into in today's stream, and I'm excited to talk Knicks basketball because last night we saw the New York Knicks finally play basketball for the first time in, how long was that? 7 months? Since February, it felt like. Well, it was since February, which is pretty wild. So, yeah, I want to go live and talk to you guys about the game last night because there's a lot that we can get into, whether it's Tom Thibodeau just re-energizing the Knicks franchise in terms of coaching. We're not used to seeing a coach to bring this old school defensive mentality, high intensity. We saw all the defenders just tip balls all over the place, suffocating defense, contested three-pointers. The Pistons just could not get a wide open shot. And how many times did we see the Knicks give up open threes all throughout the last 5 or so years? Because we've never really focused hard on the defense, never paid so much attention to the defensive end. And kudos to Tom Thibodeau because he, we cannot overreact over preseason game, but at the same time, if you saw how much energy Tom Thibodeau put into that game, it looked like they were going to the playoffs. It looked like a game where they need to win in order to win the finals or something like that. Tom Thibodeau was taking that game seriously, and that is awesome. Everybody, welcome into the stream if you're new. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday because Knicks fans are happy right now. As you guys know, I'm a Jets fan, so this is my first taste of victory all year. How sad is that? And it's unfortunately preseason, but we'll get a W in the regular season for sure. So everybody, welcome into the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as usual. You guys showed this channel so much love. I just hit 3,000 subscribers. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for that accolade. It means a lot to me. And yeah, I got a lot to get into in the stream. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button so we can get as many Knicks fans in here as possible. It means a lot. So listen, the Obi Toppin's debut was very impressive. Tom Thibodeau's defense was impressive. The Knicks officially announced their city uniforms. They released a video, which I will show you guys later on in the stream if you guys did not see it already. And I'm just so excited that the Knicks basketball is back and Knicks basketball is looking good. They looked energized. They look like a completely different team out there. But it looks like the team that we're not used to. We're not used to seeing a high-intensity team that goes out there and plays high-energy defense. We've never seen that before. And it's just so refreshing as Knicks fans that we can finally watch a game and understand, like, wow, the reason why we're looking this good is not because of the talent. It's not because of the players. It's because of coaching. We've lacked that for so long, and it's so refreshing to have a real coach. There was a time yesterday when they were playing lackadaisical defense, and they gave up a wide-open transition three-pointer. Tom Thibodeau was furious. He called a timeout, and he was yelling at his guys, holding his guys accountable. We have never seen that from our coaches. We're so used to seeing just Fizdale and Hornacek and Fisher and all these guys just not hold their players accountable on defense. And that's what this New York Knicks team needs, especially how young they are. He's trying to develop a culture. He's trying to develop a foundation, and Tom Thibodeau is doing that the right way. So I just want to go live real quick and give you guys my thoughts of all this news because there's a lot that we can talk about following the New York Knicks victory last night. Let's talk about Obi Toppin. Why not? Obi Toppin looked really good in his debut. Obviously, we saw a small sample size, and it's only preseason against the Detroit Pistons, so we cannot read too much into it. But Obi Toppin looked out of his mind because he just looked like he was ready. He looked like he was born to play in the NBA, and he's just an NBA-ready rookie. We're never really used to that. We're used to seeing rookies on the Knicks take a couple years to develop, like a Frank or a Knox. And it's good to see Obi Toppin go in there, and everybody's saying he's ready now. He's NBA ready on the offensive end. Well, okay, Obi, we keep hearing all this stuff, so let's see it. And he showed up, and he was skinny. He was athletic. He was going up for rebounds. I mean, his first 10 minutes in the NBA in the preseason, he dropped 9 points and 5 boards. Like, let's go. Let's go. Salute Knicks Media. What's up, my man? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. Want to go live real quick and talk about some positivity around surrounding the New York Knicks. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button so we can get as many people in here as possible. But listen, man, there's a lot that we can talk about today, whether it's the continuity on offense. Obviously, there was times where we struggled and we looked sloppy, and that's expected in the preseason. We only had a week of practice, so we cannot expect this team to just blow teams out of the water. And we also have to put into a factor that we versed the Detroit Pistons, who was a very struggling team. They're all brand new. They got a lot of new players over there. They have like 5 players that returned from last year. So they're all learning each other's system, just like the Knicks. So we're going to go up against the Detroit Pistons again tomorrow night. So hopefully we can come out with a victory, because that'll be dope. And then we're going home to verse the Cleveland Cavaliers for 2 games. So again, there's a lot to get into that I want to talk about. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the live chat and the comments down below as well, what your thoughts were. Obi looked impressive. He looked like a vet out there. I agree, John. Obi Toppin, all the thing I heard about Obi Toppin was this. He is NBA ready. He's going to come into the league and look like he is not a rookie. He's going to look like a veteran out there on the offensive end. And he did. He looked like a vet. I mean, that spin move that he had in the post, what are you, young Stoudemire or something? Like, let's go. Like, that's what we want to see from our rookie. That play where he had the ball at the 3-point line. He drove to his right. He looked like he was about to go up for it, but no, he dished it out to Kevin Knox in the corner. Kevin Knox, pump fake. He drives. He gives it back to Obi for the slam. That was just awesome basketball. That's something that Knicks fans have been waiting to see. Unselfish basketball that everybody is flying all over the place. And that is just so awesome to see. And I'm just so happy that we can talk about a Knicks game. If you guys did not know, the New York Knicks finally released their teaser trailer for the city uniforms. Have you guys seen the video? If not, I will play it for you guys right now. I want to wait till we get more people in the stream before I play the video. So if you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button so we can get all the Knicks fans in here so I can show you guys the video that the Knicks released about their city uniforms so we can talk about that. Let's talk about the rotations. You know, the starting 5 was not the fan favorite, but the bench was my favorite. Obviously, I wish RJ was playing with this unit, but the bench was fun to watch. It was Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1, Frank Ntilikina at the 2, Kevin Knox at the 3, Obi Toppin at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. That is a fun unit to watch. Never thought that Dennis Smith and Frank would look that good together at the guard spot. We see Dennis Smith was that ball handler, the point guard that we want, and Frank was just holding it down on the defensive end. He looked pretty confident as well in the offense. He did have some hiccups. He had some travels and some turnovers, and that's expected. But overall, the biggest takeaway from this is they look like a team that is buying into Thibodeau's system on the defensive end, and that's what we need. Everywhere Thibodeau has gone in his career, whether it's Chicago or the Minnesota Timberwolves, he's turned them into playoff teams. It doesn't matter the talent. It doesn't matter who's on the roster. If they buy into the system, they will surprise a lot of people. So it is really, really exciting to be a Knicks fan right now. Obviously, I said before the preseason game, whether they win, we cannot overhype the Knicks. Or if they lose, we cannot think it's a disaster. It's just a preseason. We cannot overreact, but at least we can talk about some content because we saw a real basketball game. And I saw a lot because I've never seen the defense look this real and legit from the Knicks. And you can tell how Thibodeau is holding his players accountable. It looked like Thibodeau was so passionate and into the game. He looked like a fan out there. He looked like he was one of us. I mean, I guarantee everybody that's in the stream right now, you guys are just like me, watching the game, feeling like it's a playoff game, rooting for every single bucket. You get hype. It was just awesome, man. It was awesome. So let's get into some individual players I want to talk about. I got 27 people in the stream. How are you guys doing, everybody? Thank you guys so much for all the support. Always appreciate you boys and girls tuning in to the stream. So let's talk about RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett had a very interesting game. He started the game off very rough, 0 for 6, airball the 3-pointer. Everybody's on Twitter like, whoa, what's wrong with RJ Barrett? He's a bust. Oh no. And then what does RJ do? I was not worried when that happened. I'm like, do you guys not know who RJ is? He's a volume shooter. He sometimes starts rough, but he's going to keep shooting and he's going to start hitting buckets. And what did he do? He hit 6 of his next 8 field goal attempts. And 2 of those were really beautiful mid-range jumpers. And then he went to the rim. RJ Barrett showed a lot to me. He led the team in scoring. He looks more comfortable out there driving to the rim. He looks bigger. His body looks like he's getting more toned and he has more balance. For the people thinking RJ is a bust, you got to realize that he's still a 20-year-old that is developing and he's going to only get better. And the one thing that stood out to me about RJ is his mentality. He pushed through that adversity, because any young player that started 0 for 6 would shy away from the big light. Like, okay, maybe tonight's not my night. I'm not going to shoot. But no. RJ Barrett proceeded, and he finished up scoring 6 of his next 8 field goal attempts and finished the game with the most points on the team. So that's RJ Barrett, and he needs to just let the game slow down. He was a little antsy. He did put up embarrassing 3-point shots, so that's why everybody was heckling him on Twitter, rightfully so. But I like what I saw from RJ Barrett. I really do. We got 25 people in the stream right now. Hope you guys are all having a nice Saturday. It's 1:30 Eastern time following the New York Knicks victory over the Detroit Pistons last night. So what are your guys' thoughts on Julius Randle last night? I think Julius Randle showed why every Knicks fan don't want him here. He just is a guy that is not a bust. He's not a terrible basketball player, but he's a guy that just doesn't fit the system. He's a guy that takes away the ball from other players. You can't even call him a ball hog, because he did have 6 dimes, which is pretty good for power forward. But there's sometimes where he takes the ball up. He thinks he's a point forward when he's not. He dribbles too much. And there was a time at the end in the fourth quarter when the Pistons start coming back. You saw Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle just run the pick and roll for the rest of the game. I'm like, yo, stop this. This is not what this Knicks team needs. We're going to give up the lead if we're just going to run pick and roll with Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle for the rest of the game. That was just, I don't like it. I'd rather have Obi Toppin start over Julius. I'd rather Julius get traded, but Julius is a walking bucket sometimes, and sometimes he's not. There's some times where I'm looking at Julius and I'm like, yo, please pass it. Do not take a shot. And all of a sudden he does a fadeaway and hits an and one. So Julius is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So if you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button, because I want to get as many Knicks fans in here, because I got a video that the New York Knicks released about the city uniforms that I want to share with you guys so we can talk about it. What's another player we could talk about? Let's talk about Elfrid Payton was a starting point guard. I guess we could talk about him. He's not a fan favorite, but he did show up. He had 11 points, around 7 boards and 6 assists. That's a near triple-double for Elfrid. He had a very nice slam. He should not shoot the threes. He's not a sharp shooter. He should stop shooting. He's very good at going to the rim. He's good at finishing in the paint, and he's also good at facilitating. He had a really nice bounce pass to Nerlens Noel, and he's really good defender. He can get in those passing lanes. He's a gnat on defense. So I like Elfrid Payton. Alec Burks in his Knicks debut for the preseason, he didn't really impress me too much. He just looks like a guy that's a shooter. He's a guy that's going to move off ball and try to get open, hit the mid-range shots, hit the 3-point shots. He's going to take bad shots. He's also going to take good shots. So we'll see what Alec Burks is going to do. But man, the bench was so fun to watch. When the bench was out there and they were playing really well, I looked at my friend Jack, because he was over watching the game with me. I'm like, this feels like the starters. It doesn't feel like this is the bench. Usually when we're watching Knicks games, we're like, all right, the bench is out there. This is annoying to watch. There's nobody on this team I really care about. But now the bench is fun to watch. I had mentioned earlier, Knox and Mitchell Robinson, they have that connection. They've been together since the draft. Frank Ntilikina, Obi Toppin, Dennis Smith Jr. That's a young and very high energy team that is fun to watch. So there's a lot that we can get into. We got 38 people in the stream right now. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Saturday. If you guys can, please hit that like button so we can get as many people in here as possible. Let's see what you guys think in the chat. If you guys want to ask me any questions, let me know. If you guys want to tell me anything. I mean, the one thing that I was disappointed with is Emmanuel Quickley did not get any minutes, and maybe that will change. I think Thibodeau in his first preseason game wanted to try out a rotation that he felt was suitable for this New York Knicks team that he saw so far in training camp. And that was the starting 5. And then we saw people come off the bench, and he had a 10, 11 man rotation. So we definitely want to see Emmanuel Quickley get some burn, because he deserves it. He shot 43% from 3-point land in Kentucky, and that's what this Knicks team needs. But man, I think that this Knicks team has so much potential defensively. Mitchell Robinson had 0 points, shot the ball once, but had 4 steals and 2 blocks. That is just Mitchell Robinson. That is what he does. He comes in off the bench. He is an energizer bunny, and he just is a defensive-minded freak. He can block. His 2 blocks were awesome, because the one thing about Mitchell Robinson that people underrate is when he blocks the shot, he gets the board. two of his blocks. He blocked it, got the ball, passed it away. Some defenders, they just block it and try not to get the ball afterwards. But Mitchell Robinson is relentless. He wants that ball. And he also had 4 steals. That's just awesome defense from Mitch. Nerlens Noel in his debut as a starting center, he definitely impressed me. I like what I saw from him. He had around 10 points, like 6 or 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, I believe. And he looked good. I like Nerlens Noel in the starting, honestly. Listen, if Tom Thibodeau is going to run with Nerlens Noel as a starter and Julius Randle, honestly, I kind of like it just because the bench unit looks like they're going to play well together. They have good chemistry. And even just because there's a starting 5 that we don't agree with, it's not like they're going to be playing all the minutes, because you want both units to play well together. Like, for example, I really thought Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina played well together. I think that Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson, those 3, they play well together. If you throw Mitchell Robinson in the starting 5, I don't think he plays well with Julius Randle or Alec Burks. I feel like you need to fit the rotation, who plays the best together, who has the good chemistry. I do want to see RJ Barrett out there, though, with Mitch and Obi Toppin, because I feel like he is a guy that loves throwing up the lobs. He's a very good playmaker. He's very underrated. He tried the lob. We did not succeed an alley-oop yesterday. We tried like 5 times, but it did not succeed. And I don't know, man. There's a lot to get into. I'm just very excited to see Tom Thibodeau, just everybody buying into a system. It looked like the old school 90s New York Knicks basketball, when if you're coming to the paint, you're getting hauled or you're getting blocked or you're going to the foul line. Nothing is coming easy on these guys. But let's talk about the New York Knicks city jerseys that officially got announced. We got 52 people in the stream, so I'll play you guys the video right now. If you guys can, please hit that like button for me so we can get more people in here. But for the 54 people watching right now, here is the video that the New York Knicks released. It's a teaser trailer of the city uniforms, and I edited it together for you guys. It's the video that the Knicks released, and then I put the jersey to the right. So here is the video of RJ Barrett wearing the New York Knicks City Edition jerseys this year. Here we go.
Time to go home, Mike.
Don't you have a sleep kit?
So that was the video of RJ Barrett rocking the city jerseys. And let me tell you something. They look fresh on RJ Barrett. I'm going to put it right here next to me so you guys can see it right here. It's floating next to me. I'm not going to lie. Those jerseys look nice on RJ in person. Obviously, I don't think they're the best jerseys the Knicks have ever came up with. And I'm not a fan of the circle. I'm not a fan of seeing, you can't really read it properly. That's the only thing I don't like. But RJ Barrett rocked them. I think that the black with the element on the sides looks very unique and very creative. But the circle, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like how it says sleeps. I wish it said Knicks on the front. Knicks is like upside down. And when you're trying to read it, it says, you don't know where to start reading it. Where do you start? It says city never sleeps, New York Knicks. But to me, it says sleeps, New York City, city never. You know what I mean? That doesn't sit with me well, but the NYC logo is very fresh on the shorts and the jersey. And I like the black element, and I feel like RJ looked nice in them. I know most Knicks fans are not fan of these, and that's totally okay. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the chat. I understand majority of Knicks fans are not pleased with these, but I do have a feeling they're going to look nice when they do wear them. So let me know your thoughts of that. Let's talk about the Knicks game last night more, because there's a lot that we can get into. So in the live chat, ask me any questions. Ask me anything you guys want me to break down, whether it's Thibodeau's defense, whether it's Mitchell Robinson, whether it's RJ, Knox, anybody, the units. Let me know if you want me to answer any of your questions. Super chats are priority because I cannot get to every single question. So if you guys want to send in a super chat, then I will definitely answer your question there because it pops up so I know who it is. But I'll just talk off the top of my head right now. What I took from the Knicks game last night is, and everybody's talking about it, it's the defense. It's Tom Thibodeau's blueprints on the team. It just shows you how much, it shows you that coaching matters. We haven't had a real established head coach in forever. And it is refreshing to have one because you see like I said, the fingerprints on Tom Thibodeau. And it's crazy how in the first preseason game, you can tell how different this team looked. They were very high energy. Kevin Knox impressed me a lot. I could see somebody ask me about Kevin Knox. So what do you think of Knox's play? I feel like Knox looked very interesting. He looks different. He has a bigger body. He definitely put on more muscle, and he was flying across the floor. He was like all over the place. He was on the defensive end, putting in high effort. We know Kevin Knox is not good on defense. The only thing we can ask for him is putting his 100% effort in, because last year I feel like he lacked energy. He lacked effort. This year it's a different Kevin Knox. I feel like his shots are going to fall. He had a really smooth jumper in that mid-range game. He pump faked, stepped up, contested mid-range jumper. Looked like Kevin Durant out there. I'm just kidding. I'm not hyping him up too much, but Knox definitely looked like he was all over the place. I think that Kevin Knox has a lot of potential. He loves running in the open court. You saw that unselfish play from Knox when Obi gave it to him in the open three in the corner, pump fake, drove, gave it back to Obi. That is very unselfish basketball. Very good chemistry from Knox and Obi all right off the bat. And it's good to see that. 2 of our 8th overall selections from the draft are doing good. I think that Kevin Knox is going to prove a lot of people wrong this year. And maybe he's going to be good off the bench. I feel like Kevin Knox can lead that second unit. If this is, say, for the sake of the rotations, maybe this is the rotation that's going into starting for the regular season. I know not everybody are fans of the starting 5, but I'm a big fan of that bench. I really am. I think Obi, Mitch, and Kevin Knox, those 3 guys off the bench, that's an exciting 3. I'm like rooting for the bench. I'm honestly like, all right, guys, I'm over these starters. Let's see the bench in. Hey, let's see the bench come in, which is pretty sad. But at the same time, it's a good thing. We have depth. We have young guys coming off the bench. Maybe Nerlens Noel and Julius Randle, those 2 should be paired up together. I feel like those 2 complement each other well. And maybe we should keep Mitch and Obi together because they space the floor. Obi spaces the floor. Knox spaces the floor. But I do want to see RJ run with that unit as well. So it's very interesting. I don't think Alec Burks should start. But at the same time, would I rather Alec Burks play with the starting unit with Elfrid Payton and Julius and Nerlens Noel? Maybe, because I do rather have Kevin Knox run with Frank and run with Obi and Mitch, if that makes any sense. But at the same time, I keep mentioning it over and over again, I want RJ out there with Mitch and Obi because he is a Lob City facilitator, and that's what we need. I don't think Julius is a Lob City threat. Nerlens is a Lob City threat, but we know Mitch and Obi are. And Obi almost had a crazy alley-oop, but it did not get completed. Second unit was more exciting for sure. Do you think Mitch is mad about not starting? I definitely think so. Mitch is a guy that takes everything personal. He's a goofy personality, and he feels like he belongs in the starting lineup, and he should feel that way. I think Mitchell Robinson should light a fire underneath him and be like, you know what? I need to prove to the coaches I belong in the starting lineup. And Tom Thibodeau after the game did say that it's not set in stone. Nerlens Noel is not the starter. Mitch is not the starter. We don't know. He also said that both centers need to contribute in order to be as successful this season. It's not like just because Nerlens is starting, he's the guy. They both need to play. Whoever's starting, they both need to compete. They both need to play well. I think they're both going to have similar minutes no matter who's starting. And maybe Mitch is better off the bench. Like I said, that second unit looked very good. I like the second unit. All of a sudden, when the starters came out and the bench came in, it looked like a new life. It looked like a new energy. It was young. I keep mentioning this, but I like the dynamic of a Knox, Obi, and Mitch off the bench. And Frank Ntilikina, I like him. I love Frank. I love his defense. He was a pest. You see him beyond half court already in the guy's face. He's not even letting the guy dribble across the half court mark because he's just a pest. And that's why I love Frank Ntilikina. I feel like he's going to get his confidence eventually throughout the season offensively, but his defense is just all over the place. He's so long and lanky. He just is all over the place, and he is a perfect fit for Tom Thibodeau's system. Mitch was on fire with 3 or 4 steals. Mitch was on fire for that on that defensive end. Mitch finished the game with 2 blocks and 4 steals. That is ridiculous. That is just Mitchell Robinson, man. That is Mitchell Robinson. This is a very good take. Payton is a younger Rondo. Both not great shooters, but can distribute the ball and play defense. This is very true. That is a very good comparison, actually. I do think that Elfrid Payton is a Rajon Rondo, now that you say it, because he's a guy that loves driving. He loves finishing in the paint. He also loves facilitating, and he likes playing defense, and he does not have a good shot. I don't think he should start shooting three-pointers. He shot 2 last night that are both bricks. So, Elfrid, do us all a favor. Do not shoot the ball. Drive to the rim. Do your nice floaters. Finish at the rim. Finish in the paint. Facilitate. Get the boards. I mean, Elfrid Payton's a triple-double threat. He had like 11 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. That's good numbers. Very good numbers. Dennis Smith played very good defense as well. That is very true. We got to give Dennis Smith the credit. He looked impressive to me in his first game of the season. He had a very nice jump shot. That three-pointer looked very smooth. Dennis Smith did play good defense. He was all over the guy. He had a couple steals, I believe, and Dennis Smith is not known for his defense, but he looked like a pest out there. So maybe Tom Thibodeau's system is really going to unlock some players that we didn't expect to play good defense. And I think it's all of them buying into Tom Thibodeau's system in order for them to succeed. I'm really excited to watch the Knicks game tomorrow night. Stay tuned on this channel for that. Hold on. Well, hold on one second. I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure my audio is so good. You guys can still hear me, right? But listen, guys, I'm just excited that the Knicks are back, and let's do it, man. Frank was bothering Hayes a bunch. Honestly, Killian Hayes did not impress me. I know it's a first preseason game. You cannot read too much into it, and he's still a kid. I think that we lucked out with Obi. I wanted Killian Hayes in the draft because I wanted a guard, but man, Obi Toppin looked legit. He looks like he's so ready. He looks like a guy that is going to light it up right away. And I'm excited for that because we've never really had a rookie that could come into the league and play well offensively. He's definitely had his struggles on defense. We saw Blake Griffin take him to the rim with ease, but that's going to happen. This is facts right here. Stop letting Randle bring up the ball. I yell at my TV every time I see Julius Randle dribble the ball up. I'm like, bro, pass it to the guard. You're not a point forward. You're not who you think you are. And I did see Julius Randle get a jaw full from Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was in his ear yelling at him for something. Hopefully it's because that he shouldn't be dribbling the ball up. He should not be spinning into triple teams. Julius Randle drives me insane. He really drives me insane. Frank's going to drop 80 points tomorrow. That is facts. We all know that. Frank Ntilikina is a god. I really hope Iggy gets some playing time. Do you think he will play? I hope so, man. I'm really high on Iggy. We all know his play in the G League was phenomenal last year. He did not get the burn he deserved, in my opinion, in the NBA. But he definitely deserves to play more. I really hope he does because he is a guy, he's a walking bucket. And I feel like right now Tom Thibodeau wants to get used to the system and wants to get used to the rotations. I feel like in the last couple preseason games, we're going to see more of the bench. We're going to see more Miles Powell, Quickly, Iggy, and Amari Spellman. Those guys, that's like the third stringers, I would say. Last night we saw the first and second stringers only play, and that's what we're going to see in the regular season more. But I don't really expect Iggy to get playing time in the regular season. He's going to only come in with injuries, unfortunately. I don't really expect Quickly to get a lot of minutes. I feel like what we saw last night is going to be the rotation for the regular season. Also, we have to put into account that Austin Rivers is battling an injury, so he's not playing. I do expect Austin Rivers to get a lot of minutes. I wonder who we would have played over if he was healthy, which is pretty interesting. We now got over 100 people in the stream. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Saturday. If you guys did not hit that like button, make sure you do so. We have 33 likes. Let's see if we can run this up to 50 likes so we can get as many people in the stream as possible. That will be phenomenal. Last night, I went live before the game, and I had 450 people in here. Are you kidding me? That is insane. I had people all over the globe. I had people from Haiti, from France, from Pakistan. It was ridiculous. I've never experienced something like that. So all the Knicks fans, I forgot that the Knicks are such a global icon and everybody loves the Knicks all across the world. And that is so awesome. So if you guys are across the world right now, salute to you guys. I'm from New York, but we appreciate you guys supporting the Knicks from wherever you're from. That is awesome. But what else should we talk about? What else should we talk about? We was up by a lot and won by how much? Yeah, we were up by like a good amount at one point. We were up by like 19 points, but then we only won by 6. And that's why Tom Thibodeau, after the game, you saw him like the Pistons hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer. And Thibodeau took off his mask and he was like, ugh, he was pissed. Tom Thibodeau was upset that we just won. You love that. I love to see my coach be not satisfied with that because the defense fell apart in the fourth quarter and he's going to be not satisfied. He's like, hey, listen, we won the ball game, but listen, this is not going to be acceptable again, especially when we go up against higher competition than the Detroit Pistons. I'm actually glad we did not get Hayes as well. I see a lot of people say that in the chat right now, but we cannot read too much into preseason games because Hayes is still young. That was his first ever NBA experience. He's a young kid, but Obi Toppin definitely looked like the better rookie in my opinion. But the defense definitely fell apart in the fourth quarter. Typical Knicks. I was getting worried that the Knicks were not going to play or blow the lead at some point. I keep unplugging my mic. My apologies. But at one point, I'm like, no. Please don't nick this. Please do not blow the lead. I want this victory. I don't want to talk about a Knicks loss. I don't want to talk about the Knicks blowing a lead. I want the Knicks to win. And they did. And we can be happy with that. What would you grade Toppin's debut? I mean, honestly, we couldn't ask for more from Obi Toppin in his NBA debut. His first ever minutes in the National Basketball Association for the New York Knicks. His first 9 minutes of action, 9 points, 5 boards. I mean, that's fire. You cannot expect Obi to do more than that. He crashed the boards. He was efficient on offense. He went to work in the post. He had a high-flying dunk. He was active on the boards, like I mentioned. The one thing that we did see from him, which we always say, is he does not look good on defense, but he looked good on offense. It's everything we expected. I wanted this to be that way. CJ, my man, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate the donation. Do you feel Randall and Ntilikina should be traded? I think one of these guys should be traded. I do not think the other should be. I think that Randall should be traded. I think that Ntilikina should not. I think Frank Ntilikina is a guy that should be part of the long-term future of the New York Knicks. His defense is so valuable, especially, I keep saying it, but especially under a guy like Tom Thibodeau. Frank Ntilikina is a pest. He makes superstars upset when they're on offense. We saw him lock down Luka and Damian Lillard last year. Frank Ntilikina is so valuable. I hope he has a future for the New York Knicks team. But Randall, for sure, we need to trade him by the deadline. We need to give Obi Toppin the keys to the kingdom and give him the starting 4 position because Julius Randle drives me crazy. He ices out all the players, and it's just annoying. But again, thank you so much for the donation, my man. Very generous. What did you think of Dennis Smith Jr.'s defense? I think Dennis Smith Jr. was lighting it up on defense. He was very aggressive. He was a pest. He was getting a lot of ball deflections. I mean, Tom Thibodeau is getting in the mind of these players and just letting them buy into his system, and it's working. Last year, this defense was not good. It was just refreshing to see a coach that was just preaching defense. And we saw Obi Toppin go to the bench. He was getting an earful from Mike Woodson and Kenny Payne. The assistant coaches are active. They care. I mean, how awesome is it to see Obi Toppin talk to Mike Woodson, right? Mike Woodson's the man. Knicks defense was so special. Offense needs work. I agree. The offense staled out in the end, and I feel like that is due to Julius Randle, Elfrid Payton just running the pick and roll, which drove me crazy. Yeah, someone said it right here. Payton and Randle can't be on the floor at the same time. I agree, bro. I was screaming at my TV. I'm like, stop. It literally was only Elfrid and Julius getting the ball in the fourth quarter. That needs to stop. You need to move the ball. Give the ball to RJ. RJ has ice in his veins. Let him run to the rim and finish through contact, go to the free throw line, all that stuff. I think Frank is going to be a top-notch role player. Exactly, Hector. I couldn't agree more. This is what I feel like Frank's value is going to be. Maybe he's not the starter for the Knicks' future, but he's going to be extremely valuable off the bench. He's a guy that can come in and just lock someone down. He's a pest on defense. I mean, I can just talk up all day about Frank Ntilikina because his defense is so valuable to this Knicks team. The Knicks always get lazy in the end. We all know this. I agree, man. What do you think of Kevin Knox's aggressiveness? Mr. Harris, I loved Kevin Knox's aggressiveness. We saw a different Kevin Knox. Again, we don't want to read too much into Kevin. We don't want to read too much into the Knicks because it's just a preseason game, but it did show you a lot. He looked like a new player. He was running up and down the floor. He looked like, first of all, he looked like he was in crazy good shape. Tom Thibodeau kept saying in the the press asked Thibodeau, who came into the best shape for training camp? He mentioned 2 players, Kevin Knox, Julius Randle. And Kevin Knox definitely showed up and said, I'm in shape. I'm in NBA shape, because he was flying across the floor. He was on one end, the other end. He was playing defense. Kevin Knox is not known for his defense. And only thing we can ask for Knox is to put in effort, try. Because last year it looked like he was just gave up. He's like, he lost confidence. He's like, I don't belong here. Fizdale doesn't like me, or Fizdale is putting fake confidence into me. But hopefully Knox can build off this, and this can translate into the regular season. I think Kevin Knox needs to continue to shoot, because his shot will fall. Kevin Knox has the jump shot. He has a 3-point range. He can hit the mid-range jumper. He can drive to the rim. His aggressiveness really stood out to me, and I'm excited to see a new Kevin Knox. Hopefully he can keep it up. Do you think Noel deserves the starting center position? I definitely wish Mitchell Robinson starts over him, but he definitely impressed me, Nerlens Noel, for his Knicks debut. He was all over the floor. He had 2 block shots. He was a good rim protector. He was a high flyer. He catched an alley-oop. He had a good dunk. He was efficient. He finished 5 for 6 from the field. But listen, if Nerlens Noel starts and Mitchell Robinson can come off the bench with that second unit with guys like Knox and Obi and Frank, I like that second unit. It's not the end of the world. I know every Knicks fan was overreacting to the starting 5. Like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. What is the starting 5? Fire Thibodeau. What is he thinking? This is terrible. Well, you can't forget about the second unit, because that is just as important as the starters. Just because the starters are listed as the starters doesn't mean they're playing every single minute. The bench is going to get some burn. We saw a lot of players coming off the bench and putting up a lot, bringing a big impact. Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. looked very impressive to me. Kevin Knox, like I just mentioned, very aggressive. Obi Toppin was very impressive in his rookie debut. So I don't think we should worry about the starters too much. I feel like tomorrow might be a whole different lineup. We don't know. He might be experimenting. Also, if Austin Rivers can hit his threes and jump shots, I see the team vastly improving. Yeah, man, that is a big element to Austin Rivers' game and to the Knicks roster that we have not seen yet, because he's still battling an injury. I'm excited to get him back. Will RJ Barrett live up to his draft pick? Yes, I think RJ Barrett will. And the one thing that I always mention about RJ, what's going to make or break his career, and the one factor that he has that is different than a lot of players in the league and even on the Knicks, is his mentality. He has the work ethic. He has that. He called it himself. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Legend. It's tragedy, I know. But RJ Barrett called himself the Maple Mamba. He doesn't call himself the Maple Mamba anymore for his respect to Kobe Bryant. But all throughout high school and college, people called him that because he was a guy that said whenever he came on the court, he went like this. That means turning on that mentality. He has all the confidence in the world. And just to prove to you guys this mentality I'm talking about, RJ Barrett started the game off last night 0 for 6, airballing, looked terrible. People on Twitter were roasting RJ. What happened to RJ? He looks broken. But what does he do? He settles in his head. He's like, all right, I'm a little rusty, but I'm a beast. I'm one of the best players in the court. He completes 6 of his next 8 field goal attempts. 2 of them were really beautiful looking mid-range jumpers. The rest of them were aggressive, taking it to the rim. So do I think RJ will live up to his draft pick? Absolutely. Oh man. So we got 153 people in the stream right now. That's a lot. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a nice Saturday, enjoying a New York Knicks victory on preseason. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. And also, if you guys are not already, make sure you subscribe. I just hit 3,000 subscribers last night. Thank you guys so much for everybody that subscribes to this channel, each and every one of you. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort into my content, and you guys seem like you appreciate my content. I appreciate you guys. It is a very healthy relationship we have. I love answering you guys' questions. Everything about this Knicks YouTube channel, I am just a super fan of. I'm passionate about it. You guys give me motivation to create content. You guys give me motivation to go live and talk Knicks basketball. And man, you guys are awesome. So if you guys are not subscribed already, make sure you do so, because I got a lot of content coming this way. I got a lot of content coming. And Knicks basketball starts in a week and a half. The regular season is December 23rd. That is not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. All right. How much do you think RJ will average this year? I think the only way RJ puts up 20 points per game is if he hits his free throws, because he's going to go to the line. If he does not hit his free throws again, then I can see him around 17 to 18 points per game. But if he can start hitting his free throws, I see 20 plus points per game. Remember, guys, I try to be realistic here. I don't want to say RJ's winning MVP. The Knicks are going to the playoffs, 3rd seed. I'm not going to be delusional. I'm not going to feed you guys false hope. I'm going to be realistically optimistic. That's my label. That's my persona. That's how I want to bring you guys my thoughts of the New York Knicks and everything about it. Man. All right, guys. So we got 154 people in the stream. Again, if you guys are new, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to actually replay the Knicks City jerseys because I don't know. There's a lot of new people in here. So the Knicks announced their brand new City jerseys. And I'm going to play the video that they released. For the guys that already saw it, I apologize. You guys can watch it over again. But there are a lot of new people in the stream. So I want to show you guys this video. Here is the video that the Knicks came out. It's a little teaser of RJ Barrett at the Garden. It's pretty cool. It's like him at 2:30 a.m. shooting around. It's a little knock to what it says on the jerseys, which is the city never sleeps. So here is the video of RJ Barrett and MSG security guard. Here we go.
Time to go home, Mike.
Don't you have a sleep kit?
So yeah, that's the video of RJ Barrett rocking the new City jerseys. I just want to show you guys because I know there's a lot of new people in the stream. So I just want your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the new jerseys? I honestly like how they look on RJ. I'm excited to see what they look like in person. Unfortunately, we're not going to see them in person because nobody's allowed in the Garden. That's whack. But yeah. This is a good one. Knox had a great pass. Knox and RJ equals Tatum and Brown. Very interesting take. I'll take that. I'll take a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum with Knox and RJ. They got to live up to that because that's if they can get to that level, we are in good hands because the Boston Celtics have a lot of potential because they're building to the draft. Not a Celtics fan, obviously. Don't like the Celtics, but you got to give them credit. I love the new jerseys. Me too, man. I wouldn't say, for me personally, it's like a love-hate relationship. Here, I'll put the jerseys up on the screen so you guys can see it while I'm talking about them. But I've said this over and over again. I love the black. I love the siding of the blue and the orange. The one thing I don't like is the circle. You can't really see the Knicks. The Knicks are upside down. You can't really read it properly. But the NYC logo on the top left is fresh. Love that. And they're also on the shorts, so that's fire. That is very, very fire. Knox looks more like Giannis. I'm assuming you meant like Giannis Antetokounmpo here. Listen, man, when we first drafted Knox, I don't want you guys to overreact to what I'm about to say, but I did compare him physically to a hybrid of a Giannis and a Kevin Durant. Physically, not skill set, not what he's going to be in the NBA, but he has a body type similar to those two players. And if Knox can continue to develop his body and get longer, well, not longer, but if he can build his muscle and just evolve his body, I feel like he could become a Giannis because his wingspan's ridiculous. His long strides like Giannis. He has a jump shot like Kevin Durant, not anything close to Kevin Durant's jump shot. Durant is way ahead of him. But if Knox can develop that ability to shoot long range and shoot efficiently from mid-range, and he can also get that Giannis feeling where he can drive to the rim and dunk on people, That's my take on Kevin Knox. Again, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm comparing him to Giannis and Kevin Durant. I'm not, but that's what he could become. Do you think the Knicks will have another bad year this year and then next year they'll be bad? That's my opinion. I feel like they'll have one more bad year. That's just my opinion. What's yours? Do you think the Knicks will have another bad year this year and then next year they'll be bad? No, I think this year is going to be a year that it's up and down. I think that it's going to be a year where we don't really – I don't want to say we're definitely not making playoffs. There's a chance because there's a play-in tournament, but I don't think the Knicks are going to make a lot of noise this year. I think this is the year where Thibodeau gets his fingerprints on the team, can build a culture. All the Knicks fans can buy into a system, and they understand defense first. And then that next year is where we have a lot of cap spaces, a lot of people free agency we can acquire. And I think we're going to be bad to decent this year. And next year, we're going to be way better. That's my take. That's my opinion, obviously. Don't want to see Randall and Payton let the young guys play. I agree. I don't like Julius and Payton together on the floor. I think it's annoying watching them run the pick and rolls. Drives me crazy. Drives me insane. Really does, man. It really does. Oh. This is true, man. We got to give credit for closing because that's the one thing about Julius Randle. He is so all over the place. He has the ball in his hand and he's dribbling. I'm like, yo, Julius, don't do ISO. Pass the ball. I'm like, pass the ball. And then he does a step back and one mid-range jumper. I'm like, okay. All right, Julius, prove me wrong. Like, you're right. We got to give him credit because Julius is a guy that every Knicks fan hates, but he does show up at the big moments at times. Last year, he did it. In preseason, he had the bucket to ice the game, and he had the bucket to give the Knicks the victory. So you got to give Randall the props when it's due, but we got to not let him spin because the amount of times Knicks fans, including myself, have seen Julius Randle spin into a double team and turn the ball over is ridiculous. I know Knicks fans can agree with that one. Yeah, see right here, Randle brought the damn spin move back. Man, I know, man. I know. It is frustrating. There are no free agents coming here. Sorry. Listen, the only way free agents are going to come here is if we can build a foundation and start winning ball games under Thibodeau with our young core. That's what's going to attract the free agents. There's nobody looking at the Knicks at this moment and saying, I want to become a Knick. Nobody's saying that. I agree. It's not an attractable destination. The only way we make it an attractable destination is if we start winning with this young core and we show that we have the coaching staff in order to win in the league and we're just a superstar away from competing. That's how we can get free agents in here. So we got over 176 people in the stream. Welcome in, everybody. We have 71 likes. If you guys can run up the like button and get me over 100, that would be awesome. We get as many Knicks fans in here as possible. We got a bold take. Barrett is hot garbage. Could not disagree more, my man, but you are entitled to your own opinion. That is totally okay. Please give Randall credit. I just did. I just gave Julius Randle his credit. He did. Hit up the likes, fam. Appreciate you, my man. You're always supporting. Always see you in the live chat, SJ the Third. I think that's what I should call you. But thank you for always supporting me, man, my man. Thank you. Keep Randall, trade Frank Ntilikina. Oh, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And guys, if you guys want, I linked my NBA basketball channel in the description down below. Again, there's no content there yet, but I have a lot of content that will be posted there soon. It's called Basketball Kingdom. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Yo, honestly, watched all your videos. I forgot this was live. Yeah, bro. This is live. What up, Jeff? Appreciate you. I always recognize you in the live chat. Thank you, bro. Keep Frank. Let him become full-time point guard. Listen, last night, Frank did not play the point, which was interesting. They let Dennis Smith Jr. run the point while Frank was in the ball game. I'm right there with you. I'm the biggest Frank fan there is for Knicks fans. I think his defense that he brings to the table is so valuable. Maybe he needs to get his offensive confidence back, or he needs to just get it in general, and that's what will make him a really good player. but we'll see, man. Who will be the starting front court next game? I'll give you my starting 5 next game, not just the front court. I think it's going to be very similar, honestly. I think it's going to be Alfred at the 1, Burks at the 2, RJ at the 3, Randall at the 4, Nerlens at the 5. I don't think they're going to switch it up, but at the same time, Thibodeau did say he's going to switch things around, experiment. So maybe they're going to switch around. Maybe they don't start Burks. Maybe they give Knox and Mitch a start. Maybe it's Alfred at the 1, or maybe it's Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1, and maybe it's RJ at the 2, and then Knox, and then Randall, and then Mitch. You never know. I feel like they're going to switch it up. I would like to see Obi and Mitch start, but I like them off the bench. Just because Obi Mitch is not starting does not mean they're not going to play. That's what Knicks fans have to realize, that just because the starting 5 looks like that does not mean the bench is not going to get the run. We got a hot take right here. Knicks don't know how to develop players, and Obi is a one-year wonder. Yeah, I mean, that is true. The Knicks have not developed players in the past, but it's a completely different dynamic for the Knicks. It's not the same coaches. It's not the same front office. Everything is all different. So we're hoping and we're hopeful that we can change the narrative where the Knicks can start developing their talent under Thibodeau. We will see. Mitch starting at the 5. I sure hope so, bro. I would love Mitch to start at the 5. I'm right there with you, my man. Am I crazy for loving the fact that Thibs was upset after the win? You're not crazy. I'm right there with you. We gave up a 3-pointer at the buzzer that had no impact of the game, and Thibodeau is furious. Takes off his mask. He's like, pissed off. That's a coach you want. Fizdale was the opposite. Fizdale was like, we're losing by 20. He's smiling. It's like, it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. Thibodeau will be not like that. Trade Randall. Facts. Facts. Very surprised with Dennis Smith play, and all the third-year players, they played well and looked like they're ready to prove something. Mitch keeps making bow-headed fouls, though. Yeah, Mitch definitely had 4 fouls, so that's something he needs to clean up. He needed to clean that up since his rookie season. Dennis Smith Jr. definitely impressed everybody. He looked very comfortable. He looked confident. He had a very smooth jumper. He had a very nice layup. He was facilitating. He was playing defense. So Dennis Smith, is he having his breakout season finally? I'm down. I'm very down. We got 182 people in the stream right now. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. We can run this up to over 100 likes. That would be awesome. Appreciate every single one of you guys always tuning into the live stream, showing Knicks Media all the love. You guys are awesome. Awesome show. Frank has great defense and IQ. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the love. And Frank does have great defense and IQ. That's why I don't understand why people want to trade Frank Ntilikina. Don't get it. His defense and IQ is so ahead of other people. He has that instinctual knowledge of playing defense where it's not coachable. You cannot coach up his defense. It's already there. It's inside of his mind. You cannot really get better. The only thing you can really teach Frank on defense is technique and lateral quickness, I guess. But he's a beast. DSJ is a beast. Let's go. Dennis Smith is a beast. You're the man. I watch your Jets channel as well. Donovan, thank you, bro. Jets media, not fun to make content right now. As we know, the Jets are one of the worst teams in NFL history, if not the worst. But yeah, if you guys that do not know my story, I'll tell you guys real quick. I initially started YouTube as a Jets YouTuber last year, and I have been killing it. But which is crazy is I'm about to pass subscribers on Knicks Media, or I'm about to get more subscribers on my Knicks channel than my Jets channel. And I have my Jets channel for like a year now. Knicks channel I started 3 weeks ago. So Knicks fans, there's nothing like you guys, which is awesome. You guys are awesome. Frank is built for a playoff-ready team, 100%. If you put Frank Ntilikina on like the Spurs or the Clippers or just a competitive playoff team, he will be utilized very well. I feel like Frank did not look to par in his first 3 years in the NBA because he's never had a real coach. He's never had proper development. And nobody really instilled confidence into him. And now we have a real coach, so we'll see. OMG, the game was awesome. Facts. That starting lineup was hot garbage. I agree, but I always say this. I've said this over and over again. Just because the starting lineup was garbage, which I agree with that take, we cannot forget the bench, because just because the starting 5 is whack doesn't mean the bench is not going to be fire. I love the bench. I love that second unit of Dennis Smith, Frank, Knox, Obi, and Mitch. That's an exciting unit. And again, just because the starting five is on paper doesn't mean they're getting all the minutes. They might be getting a little more minutes because they are the starters, but the starters definitely came in here, man. I see you guys. How about my Giants? Yeah, I give the Giants some credit. Obviously not a Giants fan, but they're looking very well. Honestly, for the Giants fans in here, I really want the Knicks to have a very similar season to the Giants this year, where they don't really start off as well. They struggle. They have a new head coach, just like Joe Judge with Tom Thibodeau. And I feel like Joe Judge is a culture changer guy that is old school and likes playing that gritty football. Tom Thibodeau, old school, likes to play that old school defense basketball. And I feel like the Knicks are going to, at least I'm hoping, that they're going to start off rough. They might not have a good start to the season, but then all of a sudden everything start clicking together. They're going to start getting more continuity and confidence and cohesion together, and maybe we make a push at the end like the Giants are now. So I do compare the Knicks to the Giants. And as much as it hurts my heart, because I'm obviously not a Giants fan, as you can tell from my Jets helmet right there. Why is Toppin not in the starting five? Because we have Julius Randle, unfortunately. Randall needs to go so Toppin can start. I agree. Toppin is better coming off the bench and playing 20 minutes. Maybe later on the year he should start. Yeah, that's what I think as well. I feel like Toppin is going to start coming off the bench throughout the beginning of the year, but then towards the end he might switch it up. But we got almost 200 people in the stream. We have 90 likes. If you guys can give me 10 more likes and get me over 100 likes, I would greatly appreciate that. That would be awesome. And if you guys did not see my full breakdown of the game, my initial reaction, I posted a video on my channel where it was like me 11 minutes just rambling about everybody. I went into each individual player. I went into what I thought from each, the coaching staff, the continuity, everything to do with that. So if you guys did not check out that video, make sure you do so, and subscribe if you guys are not as well. So I'm going to finish off the stream in a couple minutes because I was live for 57 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up right when it hits around 1 hour. If you guys want to give me a couple more questions before I end off the stream, let me know. Let's do it. We got somebody giving his starting five lineup. Point guard Rivers, RJ at the 2, Knox at the 3. Man, this is a very good lineup. I'm down for it, but I don't see it happening. Sorry to break it to you. I don't see it happening, but I would love it. But again, man, this is a very good lineup off the bench. This is a lineup that we think is going to be off the bench besides RJ. Obi can't play small forward. I agree. I don't really think he's a good small forward. He should stay at the 4, especially defensively. He would not match up well against small forwards. He's not really matching up really about anybody on defense. He got bullied by Blake Griffin on defense, but he's a rookie. We cannot expect him to be a beast right away. I feel like he's going to be a beast offensively, but not defensively. But listen, guys, I just want to thank you again for all the latest support on this channel. You guys are loving Knicks media content, and you guys just got me over 100 likes. Thank you. We're at a 101, all because of you guys. You guys are awesome. I say this in almost every stream, but I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. Every single one of you guys that like the video, subscribe, comment, show me love in the live chat, send super chats, everything. I really thank you guys. I'm so thankful to have this platform built where I can talk about my New York Knicks and I can connect to more Knicks fans out there. When this COVID situation passes, hopefully by next year, I'm definitely wanting to meet some of you guys, maybe at the Garden, because I live very close. I live on Long Island, so I go to Knicks games all the time. So eventually, whenever things become normal around the world, I can meet some of you guys and we can, link up at the Garden, watch a Knicks game together. I'm going to vlog games whenever I do go. I'll be making videos of me going to the game, showing you guys footage of the games. Unfortunately, I can't do that this year because of COVID, which sucks. I'm depressed now. Just kidding. It's all good. We should be thankful that the NBA is going to proceed with the season, even through the pandemic. Hopefully everybody's safe. Hopefully they can deal with it very well. They did a very good job in the bubble, and hopefully the COVID does not hurt the NBA. The NFL is getting through it. Even though everyone's getting infected, they're still pushing through and they're still playing. The MLB did it, so let's hope the NBA can do it. And I'm just excited for Knicks basketball. We saw our first taste of the Knicks last night. Stay tuned for content tomorrow night because the Knicks will be playing the Detroit Pistons once again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I might go live pregame. I'm going to go live during the games in the regular season sometimes, so stay tuned on this channel. Again, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you do so. Wow. So I've been live for 59 minutes, and you guys are asking me all great questions. The Knicks community is unmatched. We are definitely the best fan base in all of sports. Yes, that is a hot take, but I genuinely believe it. Expect more collaborations in the future with CK2K, NYK, Terry and Trey, all that good stuff. That does it for Knicks Media's live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Enjoy your Saturday night and evening. And again, let's go Knicks. I'll catch you guys tomorrow in my live stream. Peace out, everybody. Have a fantastic